Have you ever been to SeaWorld? Have you ever wondered how they keep their tanks clean? Well, today my name is Jacqueline Wooten, and I'm going to show you how they actually keep their tanks clean, but in a smaller proportion. So if you're going to come in, I'm going to go ahead and show you all the materials that's needed to make a clean display. You're going to need a siphon, a stick. This is used to stir up the sand. You're going to need a scraper for the glass, a towel, a toothbrush, and a turkey baster, and I'll tell you about that later as why you need that. Alright, so we'll come back out, and the first important thing to do is to actually use the stick to stir up the sand. You want to get that nastiness basically off of the bottom, and I'll tell you about that a little bit more why that's important. So you'll just basically stir up the bottom. As you can see, this is pretty nasty. And once you get all of the sand stirred up, what you're going to do is take your siphon, and you're going to need a bucket at this point as well. And you're going to use this bucket, and you're going to start off the water, and you're going to drain water out of the tank into this bucket. You're going to want to take about 10% out of the tank. That's the max that I would recommend. And I'll tell you a little bit also why you're going to want to keep this water for last. You don't want to go ahead and get rid of it. So next, you're going to take a glass scraper. It's magnetic, so it will actually adhere. And you're going to want to just go along the glass and just scrape all of this algae and everything off of the glass. Just like so. And once you've gone through all over that, you can just kind of put that to the side like so. And take your toothbrush. This is important because you have silicone in the corners of your tank. And this is not as abrasive. And you're just going to want to go down the corners and the edges as well. So once you're doing this, make sure you keep the towel close by because your arms are going to get wet. Which is for a towel. Awesome. So, now the turkey baster, once you get all of that done, you're going to basically use this to blow off any dirt that has gotten onto the rock, because in a saltwater tank we actually have live rock and coral, and sand can actually agitate that, so it's important to make sure the rock is clean from the sand as well. So it's kind of like a jet, and it cleans off the rock just like so. And just kind of go over each rock. I mean, you don't have to be very precise, but even just a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so now that we have done that cycle, what I would recommend is going to the bucket with the dirty water. If you have any filters or anything in your filter tank, at this time you can just shake this out, and it's important because of the bacteria. You don't want to rinse any filters out with clean water. So you'll just basically do that, and then you can just put the filters back and set that to the side. And next, you're going to have clean water that's pre-mixed with salt and other beneficial bacteria and nutrients as well. I'm not going to tell you about that today, but what you're going to do is then actually just take this water and dump it back into the display tank, just like this, to basically refill from what you had left from the beginning. Okay, so at this point, I would go ahead and put your canopy back on, and if you turned off any pumps or anything, you can go ahead and plug them back in as well. Now let's talk about the dirty water. This is very important. If you have a septic tank, you don't want to pour that down the toilet or anything like that. You'll want to dump that outside, but be mindful that it will kill the grass. So make sure you put that and discard that in an area that's not important. Now if you have a sewer system, like I have, you can actually just dump this down into the toilet, and that's actually perfectly fine. So this is how you clean a display tank. and how you maintain a saltwater fish tank. So thank you, and again, my name is Jacqueline Wooten.